Hey everyone, I am going to pull up a couple things on the internet, so just give me a second, we'll get you guys some time to join in. This Facebook Live is going to be all about updates, so we can just keep you guys posted as to what we're up to, what's actually happening, so you guys can better adjust your schedules as well. So just give me one moment. I'm pulling up the Jane Austen Festival info so we can get you guys all hooked up with what's going on there. Here we go. I think this is it. Okay. So what I wanted to talk to you guys about today is just what's going on, and I think it's a lot easier for me to do that via video, so you guys can just watch it when you have time to watch it, and then you can be kept updated versus me typing a whole bunch of stuff out. So basically, I just wanted to take you guys through the end of May, what's happening for us, and feel free to ask questions. We're going to go over some recipes that we're looking at bringing into the shop, and I would like some of your opinions. But first, let's just go over, Kira's here too, let's just go over the May schedule for us. So, do you want to say hi? Can you say hi to everybody? No. So, basically, right now we are in the middle of May, and this week we have to go back to my hometown. We always help out with a high school Civil War Days, is what it's called. And so we have that this week. We're getting ready. I have to make a whole bunch of hardtack today. So that's basically this week. Obviously, shipping will still go out tomorrow. Depending on when we leave, they're thinking about rain dates, so we'll keep you guys posted on that. But I want to let you guys know how the shipping schedule is going to be for the rest of this month, just because it is so busy. And I will also update the website as well. I'll update Facebook just to keep you guys posted, but at least you can hear it from me. So if you're like doing stuff and like to listen to videos like I do, this would be the way to do it. So, okay, I have my handy dandy schedule here. Basically what's going to happen is we're going to be gone most of this week, probably the 17th, 18th, and 19th, and then we're going to be coming back, and we have to get ready for Vincennes. And so for those of you who know what Vincennes is, it's a pretty awesome event. It's a historical reenacting event in Indiana, and this will be our first outdoor show. So normally when we leave for outdoor shows, I know we've kind of covered this in the past, but let's just cover it one more time. When we leave for outdoor shows, we actually, let's say the outdoor show is like Saturday and Sunday, we have to leave either Wednesday or Thursday just for the traveling aspect of it and getting the whole apothecary set up, because it's a huge ordeal with all the fixtures. I don't know if you guys have seen the traveling apothecary or not. And so when that happens, we have to let you guys know shipping wise, because we won't be shipping until we actually get back. Okay, so your last shipping day for next week is going to be Monday the 22nd. So get your orders in between now and Monday the 22nd if you want stuff shipped out for the rest of this month. That I can promise it will be shipped out. If you guys order after the 22nd for this month, I cannot guarantee we're going to get to it in a timely manner. We are going to be packing the shop then the 23rd and 24th, and the cat just jumped on the table. Sorry. And then we're actually leaving for Vincennes on the 25th, which is a Thursday, which is next Thursday. And we will be at Vincennes all the way through, until Monday. By Tuesday, we should be back. By Tuesday and Wednesday, we're going to get to your shipping. So shipping dates for this month are the 15th, the 30th, and the 31st. And then after that, we are packing to go to the Wild West. We're going to be going to Texas, taking just a little trip. We were either going to do this in August, which would be blistering hot. For those of you who don't know, Patrick is actually from Texas, so we're going to go visit Texas and New Mexico and all that fun stuff. But we're actually going to be leaving June 2nd for that, and that's going to be a week. So when you look at the calendar, we're actually going to be gone, you know, quite a bit here coming up. And then we're going to come back, you know, we'll be back ish around Monday the 8th, and then shipping will go out after that. So that's like the stuff that we have to take care of, kind of the boring stuff, but you guys need to know it. So then we're into June here. Do you like my Claudia Williamsburg calendar? Okay, so yeah, so then we're into June, and June is pretty open, but we're going to really be focusing on Jane Austen. So that's the next thing I want to talk to you guys about is Jane Austen. And if you're listening, we'd love to get some feedback. Let's go over the recipes so far that I have chosen for Jane Austen. We still need, I have not yet decided on a girl, the next literary character from Jane Austen, because we want to add another girl to our perfumes. So I know I posted about it once on the fan page, and a couple of you responded, so thank you for that. If you guys want to put in your opinions for what Jane Austen character perfume you would like to see, please feel free to do that either on the video. I think that other post is pretty far down now on the page. But so I know this is something that we've talked about way before. When the shop was pretty new, we were talking about pearl powder. Are any of you guys familiar with pearl powder at all? So pearl powder is just what it seems. It's made out of pearls, right? And it was popular in the 18th century, popular in the Regency period, all the way through. They used pearl powder for a lot of things. And the cool thing about pearl powder is, hi Katie! The cool thing about pearl powder is that it's made out of pearls, which I think is pretty fascinating in itself. You know, historically, how you would do it is, if you would do it by yourself, you would get pearls and then you would dissolve them in vinegar. And so, hey Gia. Yay, that's good. Wave back to me. We're like one big family. So you would dissolve the pearls in vinegar. As one way of doing it. Now, today, thank goodness, I have found a source for pearl powder. Pearl powder is ridiculously expensive, like ridiculously expensive. But I found this recipe from 1926 for 19, oh Lord, okay, from 1826, because now we're dealing with Jane Austen. And it talks about pearl powder. And I thought maybe you guys would like to hear this because I find it really amusing and sort of funny. So it says, pearl powder is made from real pearls. It is least hurtful on the skin. It gives the most beautiful appearance. It is too dear for common use. Still, the perfumer, out of necessity, should never be without it. It is for use of the curious and the rich. So I think what we're going to do for Jane Austen is actually have some pearl powder for you guys to try. It probably won't be in like the big tins, but we will have it in smaller tins for you guys because I think that is a pretty awesome piece of history and we should totally try it. What do you guys think? Okay, so hi Thomas. So also some of the other recipes I found, this is also an 1826 recipe for cologne water, and basically it is, I mean, they call it a water. You could, you know, up the oils and the herbs and things like that, and you could actually make it a perfume if you wanted to. So, but the basic herbs are like lavender, bergamot, lemon, orange water. And it's called a cologne water. And there wasn't really any specific use for this cologne water, other than it was really good for hankies and, you know, Thomas, you'd like to kiss my feet? I'm not quite sure how to really respond to that, but thanks, I think. So we're thinking about this cologne water. I think, you know, with the lavender, bergamot, lemon, and orange water, I think that it's going to be just a really lovely, flowery, but not so in your face scent. So this is another one. And let me know what you guys think about these, because these are the ones that I pulled. I spent all day yesterday trying to find some just really cool Regency recipes, and these are the ones that I thought had potential. So let me know what you guys think. Okay, so this one I thought was super awesome, from 1808, and I think the doctor's name is Dr. Beddoes, B-E-D-D-O-E-S, Beddoes, and this is a recipe from, it was actually found in a gentleman's magazine from 1808, and how the gentleman recommended this Mr. Beddoes' recipe for pomade divine. So I thought it was very interesting because, you know, normally, historically, for cosmetics, especially in the 17th and early 18th century, you don't really see that separation between, you know, male and female cosmetics or advertisements. You just don't see it. You would, if you were a male and you wanted to wear rouge, that's fine. Like, it's not that big of a deal, you know? So to actually have, in 1808, to actually have a recipe that is like kind of touted for gentlemen, I just thought was really interesting, because it's just something you don't see. It is, sorry for the noise, we're on the porch today. So it is basically like various root powders, orris root. So those of you guys who don't know what orris root is a powder made out of like iris roots, and they say it has a violet smell to it. So I'm going to tell you right now, I love orris root powder, but I am allergic to orris root powder. So, but I still love the smell of it. What are you wearing on your skin? Oh, thank you. I am not wearing very much on my skin, actually. I've been using our brand new cold cream at night, the Titanic from 1912, which has cocoa butter and Peru balsam in it. And that's really all I've been using. The only thing that's on my face this morning is some of the 1812 kohl for my eyebrows, and the white face paint for my eyelids, and again the 1812 kohl for lining my eyes. Rouge today is 1772, a rouge that exactly imitates nature, and then on my lips as well is rouge that imitates nature. So rouge that imitates nature from 1772, white face paint for the eyelids, and kohl. And that is it. Very simple, but thank you very much. So we were talking about orris root, and orris root, they always say smells like violet. So violet, so I don't know if you guys know much about violet oil. You can get violet leaf oil, like that's something that you can get, that's a natural product, but violet oil, you can't make violet oil. So anybody that's saying that like they are selling you essential violet oil from the petals of violets, it's not true. Sorry to burst your guys' bubbles, but it's just not true. There's like, it's like lilacs. Like, there's just no way to get essential lilac oil. The flower doesn't produce it. It's just too volatile. Historically for violet, because they really liked the smell of violet, they would use orris root powder. So some things it does, some things, sorry, I'm going to work on my English. Some think it smells like violets, and others don't. But I like it because this is kind of a masculine scented pomade. So for those of you who do Regency or into, like, know people who love the whole Mr. Darcy thing, I think this would be a really great pomade. It's got orris root, gum of Benjamin, just really nice, manly smelling, herbs and such. Okay, so this next recipe, because when I asked you guys what you wanted for recipes, and I do really take that under consideration. I know it takes a while for me to like get back to you guys when I ask questions on the fan page or on the business page, but never fear, like those, like I take those very seriously. So when I asked what you guys wanted for Regency, hey Jane, when I asked what you guys wanted for Regency, oh look at that. My neck is breaking out in a rash because I'm nervous, which is totally weird because we haven't done a live video in a long time, but I'm nervous for some reason. Okay, so yes, I take that very seriously, and you guys said that you wanted more Regency pomades and hair ointments and such, and which is interesting because I thought you would probably say, you know, you wanted more like rouges and such like that. But that was not the case. So, and that's cool because I really love, you know, hairdressing and hair ointments and stuff. So I was trying to think of like what some of the more popular Regency hair products were. And I found a hard Parisian pomade from 1825. And it's made with hog's lard, lavender, orange flowers, jasmine, and sweet briar. And then it says, and any other mixture of sweet flower you desire, which kind of leaves it open-ended. But I think that the Parisian pomade was a really, really popular pomade. So like pomade from Paris, hard pomade from Paris, in the Regency period. And so this is definitely one that I'm thinking of. Again, you know, feel free to let me know what you guys think after we're all finished and you guys watch this. Okay, so I'm really excited about this one because this was like, you know how we say the milk of roses and the cream of roses? Every Regency lady had to have milk of roses and cream of roses, which is true. It was super, super popular. This was another ointment for the skin or for the face that was incredibly popular. And like you weren't cool if you didn't have this on your toilet. And it's called Virgin's Milk, right? And oddly enough, it doesn't have any milk in it. So now this is really interesting because what's going to happen is I'm going to make the product for you, but then it has instructions for you on what you have to do. So you're supposed to add a couple drops into the water and then use that water to wash your complexion or to wash your face. And when you put those drops of the ointment that I'm going to make into the water should turn milky. So that's where you get the Virgin's Milk from. And so I'm super excited about this one. And the next one is it's a hair oil. So from 1825. And so this hair oil I picked because it has more than one purpose, which I'm all about, like doubling up on purposes for historical cosmetics and apothecary and such. So this one, they're scenting it with bergamot and lavender, which I know some of you guys are like all about lavender, but then when we put lavender products in the shop, they don't seem to go over as well as something like an orange or a rose would be. But this one is bergamot and lavender, and the two together, actually, I love the smell of those two. So I think you guys will be pleasantly surprised with this. The cool thing about this is not only can you use it to set your hair, but you will be able to use it for like that shine, you know, when you have the curls and everything and that really great shine. And it's supposed to thicken your hair. True story. So whether or not it actually does that, we'll figure that out. But so if you're going to use it for thickening the hair, it says applied in the morning and evening for 3 months to the parts that you want the hair to grow thick, and it will help the hair grow thick and luxurious. Everybody wants thick and luxurious hair. So, and this other one I like just because of the big story that I read about it. And like, we're all familiar with like Madagascar oil, right? So this one came out of an 1825 book, and they couldn't just give you the recipe for it. They had to explain why they were giving you the recipe for it, which I thought was just absolutely fascinating. And they can't call it Madagascar oil because that oil apparently was super expensive. It was imported and there was taxes on it. So then what they did is they came up with their own oil that is very similar. They said in the descriptions that they're pretty sure this is the original recipe, but that don't worry, because it doesn't come from overseas, it's not going to be taxed, and that the recipe is free for anyone to use. So I just thought that was very interesting how, oh yay, Jane, good. I'm a huge fan of lavender and bergamot myself. But I just thought that was very interesting that they were looking for better ways so they wouldn't have to pay taxes on products that were coming in off the ships. And so they wanted to, like, I'm sure this is how it all went down. They had someone get the ointment and then, like a perfumist who is able to, like, when I smell things, I'm able to pick out specific notes of that smell, or, you know, many times, like every single thing that's in that product, I can pick it out individually. And so I'm sure they had someone do that. I can just imagine this in my head. And come back and like write this recipe up and be like, so now we're like copying this really famous Madagascar oil, but we're going to call it Massar, Macassar oil. So, yeah, so we're going to do that just because I really like the whole historical story that goes, yes, a nose, exactly. Okay, and then this is the last one. This is the last actual recipe for Jane Austen. I have these ones too, but we'll see if we get to those. So this one I've had for a while, and I've really wanted to put this out. We just haven't had time. I actually have, like in the apothecary lab, I have a section of, what is Patrick? Patrick calls them WIPs, work in progress, where I have everything to make them, but I just haven't gotten that far. So we have like random historical recipes that I had wanted to make, but we just haven't gotten that far yet. So you never know what's going to come out. This year for recipes, it's just packed. You know, like right now we're still working on that 1930s line. We have that 1912 line coming out. And now I got to put all that down to get into the whole Jane Austen stuff. So I think you guys will like this one. This is a 1778 recipe. It's on a different card because I've had it for a while. It says it's a great source in beautifying the skin and giving a youthful color to the face. And it's called a fine lotion, which has also been called the lady's water. So it's got all these herbs in, like rosemary, spikenard, lavender, roses, pennyroyal, thyme, chamomile, sage. The list just goes on and on of all these different herbs. And then you're going to put it together and you're going to distill it and you're going to get this lotion. And it's not going to be a lotion like, it's not going to be like an oil lotion, or it's not going to be like a hand lotion or like a cold cream. It's going to be like a water lotion. Historically, like a lot of times when you see lotions, it's liquid. It's liquid. It's not like what we think. Every night you know had them on there. Yeah, it's the same concept. Definitely. So this one we're gonna definitely work at 1778, which, you know, is a little before Regency, but it's been in my want to do pile for a very long time. So these are the basic Regency recipes that we want to do for Jane Austen this year. I was reading up on Rouge last night on Regency Rouge, and I found some really interesting information. And we won't go through all of it, but it was talking about like where different rouges come from. Like, let's say that here they say there's a rouge made in Portugal. It's a very fine pale pink. But then they go on to say, like, if they say it's a Portugal rouge and, you know, it doesn't have these characteristics, it's a copy type of thing. Which happened all the time in 18th and 19th century. I mean, it still happens today. Those of you who have been with us for a long time, like Jane, probably remember when we had that guy take our products off of our page, off of our shop, and put them on Amazon, and he was selling them. And I have no idea how it happened. He was gonna, then when I contacted Amazon, apparently, like, if he had sold a product, they were like 20 times the price. So he upped the price like 20 times. It was ridiculous. Then he was going to order the product from me, and I was going to end up drop shipping it without my knowledge. So people steal things all the time. It's not like a new concept. But in the 18th and 19th century, this happened a lot with apothecary and cosmetic items. So you had to be very careful where you were getting them, know what was in them, you know, if you cared what was in them, type of thing. But in Spain, you know, Spain imports a very dark red rouge. London imports a really bright pale red rouge. And then, this is the interesting thing. They have these things called, Chinese and Japanese boxes that had papers in them. And this is the part that I'm interested in. So these papers came in 3 sizes. There was 2 dozen papers to a box. And you could only get them from China. So you could ask your perfumer to get them for you, to have them imported, but they only came from China. This is in 1825. And there was 3 sizes. There was black papers for the eyebrows. There was papers that had pearl powder on them, and it says for the alabaster color to your neck and face. And then there was papers that had rouge. So there's 3 different sizes of papers, 3 different types of product. You know, your rouge product, your eyebrow product, and then even like today we still have those paper blottings that you just keep in your purse, and you use them to take the excess oil off your face. So they had them in the Regency period. So this is something we're going to look into, and we're going to work on producing some of these. Probably not for the eyebrows, but definitely, you know, the papers for the face and for the powder and the rouge. Okay, and then there's just all these different recipes for rouges, and I'm wondering what kind of rouges you guys like the best. Do you like, you know, now you kind of have a sampling of the types that were available, where you had the liquid rouges that are in our shop. You had the solid, like, lip tints that are more like lip gloss with tints. You had the semi-solids, which were in the little glass containers. Hello, Patrick. I did print shipping.
Yeah?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
I'm not around that one power store.
Okay. All right. Sounds good. So, yes, the semi-solids, which are in the little glass jars because they're neither solid or liquid, they're like somewhere in between, or the powders. And I was reading that in like 1815, 1820, they would say that the women who bought the powders would actually, you'd have to wet the powders in order to make them to work. A lot of women didn't really apply them like as powder like we would now for rouges, but more like wetting your finger. They would say wetting your pinky finger and then applying the powdered rouges while they were wet. So think about that. Let me know which ones you guys prefer, because I would like to get another type of rouge out for Jane Austen. Also, the girls' perfume, the character perfume, we want to add another one of those. Other Jane Austen, so if you guys don't know what's happening with Jane Austen, I should probably explain this. There's a Jane Austen festival in Louisville, Kentucky, and in, oh my goodness, Locust Grove. And Locust Grove is such an awesome place, especially if you guys like historical houses and historical properties. This is going to be happening in July, and there's only like 2 places that do it. Bath, England does it, and then Louisville, Kentucky, Locust Grove does it. And so it's simply amazing. I can't even, like, I don't even know how to describe it, but there's so many fun things that happen. Not only do you have like Regency shops to go shop at, there's classes that take place, there's duels, there's fashion shows, there's tea, you know, just so many fun things, and it's all in the Jane Austen, you know, spirit of her characters, and actually this year is the 200th anniversary of her death, so it is mourning. You know, for our apothecary, you'll find us, we'll have like the gentlemen will have the mourning bands on, and we'll have like mourning ribbons and stuff on, and then black accessories. But some of you guys probably didn't know that we're teaching classes there. We taught classes there last year, and they were uber fun. We're also having the historical salon again, and so you can come get your hair done, and all that information is on the JASNA Louisville.com. You can get all that information there. Now, our classes, I brought my computer up so I could tell you guys when this is all happening. So it's Friday, July 14th, Saturday the 15th, and Sunday the 16th. And we have classes every single day. Now, those classes are going to be held in our tent, so in our apothecary. Amber, our shop girl, Amber Mendenhall, she also owns Virgil's Fine Goods. We're going to attach her shop to our shop because normally she travels with us. But what we're going to do then is we'll have the hair salon, we'll have Virgil's Fine Goods, and then we'll have our shop as well. And in that, we're going to have the classes set up. So if you guys want to join us for the classes, let me tell you what they're going to be. So we're going to have a ginormous class on Friday, July 14th, and it's going to be 3:30 to 5:30, and it's going to be $125. Now for the cost of $125, you are getting, you know, the boxes that we sell in the shop, right? Those big black ones. You're getting that full of Jane Austen historical products, hair or cosmetics and makeup. And then also we are going to work one-on-one with you guys to learn like the ins and outs of applying makeup, what they made makeup out of, how to crisp and curl your hair properly so you guys don't burn your hair off if you want to use the original irons, various styles for, you know, hairdressing, things like that. So it's going to be a really fun class. We're actually combining these classes together, and we're going to only do that workshop on Friday. So if you want to get like the classes combined plus extra information and like a lot of handouts and lookbooks, that's the class you want to attend. And then Saturday, I should have brought my coffee in here. So Saturday the 15th, we are doing, we should be doing 2 workshops that day. Let me make sure they have that on here. Yes, okay, so the first workshop is what I will be teaching, which is at 10:30 to 11:30. Remember, this is in our tent. And then 10:30 to 11:30 on Saturday, and that's Put Your Best Face Forward. So that class is $50. You will get like a smaller box, not like the big one, but you will get a smaller box with Regency Cosmetics. We'll talk about stuff. You'll be able to try things on, ask questions. There's going to be a lot of fun information on that one. And then on Saturday as well, a little bit later, Amber will have the Every Woman Her Own Hairdresser class. And that's from 1:30 to 2:30. And that is $80 for I think they have that one wrong. I'm pretty sure it's $50 for that one. So I'm going to have to talk to them about that. So then on Sunday, we are going to only have the one class. We will have the cosmetic class, 10:30 to 11:30. Again, it'll be $50, and you'll get to take home a lot of goodies and have your face all made up and all sorts of information. So if you're planning on going to the Jane Austen Festival in July, think about hanging out with us and doing a class with us. The apothecary will be open the whole time. Also, if you want to do a hair appointment for the ball or for the day, we have a separate website for that, and we will get you booked. Now, Amber, our shop girl, I don't know if you guys are aware, she just had the cutest little daughter in the entire world. So she just had her baby. Yay, we're so excited. So she is going to be missing a few shows from now probably until Jane Austen. But then when you come visit us in the shop, we will have a cute little teeny tiny baby chilling out with us. So that is exciting as well. I know this is just kind of crazy stuff, but I just think it's a lot better for me to do this on video. Okay, what else? Oh, do you just want to hear the rest of the recipes that are coming out for the 30s line and for the Titanic? Okay, so we are having a 1932 deodorant coming out. I am still going back and forth about the original recipe versus changing it up a little bit. I do have another perspiration powder from 1902 that is actually okay to use. Not that the 1931 one is not. Let's see if I can find that recipe. It's just, oh, here it is. Okay, so the one thing that I wasn't too thrilled about with the 1931 recipe was the salicylic acid in there. And like anytime you hear acid, you know, you get scared, but I think, you know, there's a lot healthier ways to make deodorant. So I'm going back and forth about putting a recipe together, you know, based off like some of the other older ones, the older recipes. Like, so this is a perspiration powder from 1902. Granted, it's like a powder versus like a cream deodorant. But this one, you know, you have your starch and your oils and stuff to make it smell nice. But you really don't have anything like bad in there, or that could be potentially irritating. Because anytime you put, like a lot of people, for whatever reason, I've been doing a lot of research on this. Anytime you put like baking soda and stuff in the deodorant, a lot of people have rashes or reactions to that baking soda, and it gets better. And the whole reason that, like, when you switch over, so if you're using like a store-bought deodorant and you switch over to a natural deodorant, chances are you're gonna have like some redness and itchiness in the beginning, because your body is kind of like in shock as to what's happening. A lot of times you need to clear out and get your pH levels under your arms back to normal before things will start working. So what I'm going to suggest is that if you're going to try our deodorant, whether or not I change the recipe from the original one a little bit just to make it safer, or, you know, we go with a different recipe that is a little bit nicer, I'm going to recommend that you guys use apple cider vinegar for a little bit, because, you know, stop what you're using, use apple cider vinegar, and that's going to rebalance your pH levels. And then when you want to use ours, it's going to be fine. But like, that's the thing, like, I don't want to put, you know, baking soda in it if a lot of people break out in rashes. Like, that's just not something I'm cool with. So we're still working on this whole trying to find a good underarm recipe for you guys that is original, that I don't have to change. But we would like to come out with one from the 30s. So let's see. So we already have in the shop, we have the Gypsy Salve, the Hops Ointment, the Curling Fluid, the Rose Pomade. There is a 1936 Gentleman's Brilliantine that is coming out that I don't have made yet. We have a 1936 nail cream. So this is actually really fascinating. I'm excited to bring out this nail cream because it's just something we haven't done before. Oh, and where is it? It's right here. So this is something that we're coming out with too. Okay. And, I'm so super excited about this. I can't even tell you. It's, let's see if I can get it out without it. Okay. So I don't know if you're going to be able to see this. You can't really see it. Anyway, it's tinted flesh. It's tinted like what 1930s flesh color was. Basically what they did is they told us how to tint them. The original recipes told us how to tint them, but they didn't actually tell us how much we needed of each ingredient to make the specific tint. So what we had to do is we had to use the original ingredients for tinting, you know, like carmine, or some of the other ones were alkanet. There was like yellow, I can't think of what yellow was, but anyway, they didn't actually give us the amounts to tint it. So we took original powders that were tinted and compared them to the stuff in our collection, and compared them to the old advertisements for the tint. And then we used the ingredients that they said, so to tint flesh, we used those ingredients. And then we carefully tinted it to match the original, which then matched the advertisement. So that's how we got this. And these are going to come with powder puffs. So I am waiting for the powder puffs. So you guys will have powder puffs for these. So that is the Velour face powder. we have a perfume that is in the works. Let me actually show you. Okay, so I know it doesn't look like much right now, but this bad boy has been working for a couple months already. So this is the start of our perfume. There's a lot more that has to happen to make this into the actual final recipe, but the perfume is called Kiss Me Quick, which I think is a really adorable title. And we have Cake Rouge coming, which super exciting. I have a original, actually let me go get it and show you quick. Okay, so this is this little compact right here, which is made out of pasteboard, which is actually very historic, even into the 18th century, stuff made out of pasteboard. When you open it, okay, so when you open it, it's got this little mirror in, okay, and then these are little wool powder puffs or rouge application. Okay, so they came with 2 of them, and then as you can see, one is white and one is pink. There's this little paper that you take off, and so this is how it came, like this. You have one white and one pink, and when you guys are in like antique stores and stuff and you're looking at original vintage rouges, they're always hard, right? And like this one is not flat, it's curved. They're always curved. So we have adorable tins coming, and I would show you the original tin, but it's downstairs in the lab right now, that match the original tins very closely. So we have those coming, and then we will get you guys some original Cake Rouge from 1931 to try. Let's see, so the Vanishing Cream is already out, which is super awesome. We got our first reviews back on that. Clay Cold Cream, that is out as well. 1912 Curling Liquid Papers. I have this all done. This is just waiting for labeling and packaging. The Sultana Cold Cream, that's what I've been using on my face. That is out as well. We have a hand lotion, like an actual hand lotion that's coming out, and that's why I picked this one, because most hand lotions, like I said, are liquid. They don't like liquid, not cream. So this one is cream. Actually, it comes from 1892, and the main ingredient is cocoa butter. So that's going to be really awesome, and they're going to be in tubes. So this original recipe from 1892 specifically states that it should be put into a tube, and we did. We found reproduced tubes. So that is going to be something new coming to the apothecary, and we're super excited about that. Okay, so the Brilliantine, Hungarian pomade, yep, for the guys, Hungarian pomade, and I'm working on strop paste. So that's something else I'd like to know if you guys, if the gentlemen who are listening are interested in, because we're really trying to work on this whole gentleman's line, and we see it a lot more, you know. We have a gentleman's pomade from 1860, I believe, or 1850. I think it's 1860. So that's when we really start to see a huge shift. Now, it happened a little bit earlier, where they were starting to advertise, you know, men's stuff versus women's stuff, women's stuff. But we're trying to like work on our whole gentleman's line of stuff, and everybody keeps asking about beard oils. And beard oils first came, well, they first tried them in the 1930s, and they didn't go over very well because people were using their pomades for their beards and things like that. And so it didn't, you know, beard oils are like relatively new-ish, but we'll probably eventually have some of that in there as well, some beard oils. So the Bandolin's already out, and then I'm wondering about another 1930s cold cream, because I feel like the cold cream we put out, even though it's awesome, it's a specific cold cream. You can't sleep in it overnight, right? So the cold cream in the shop right now is like a mask, like a mud mask cold cream, and even though they gave it the name cold cream back then, when all of us think of like what's in the shop so far, it's a little different than the cold creams in the shop. So I did find a 1930 recipe for like a natural cold cream like the ones are used to in the shop. So I'm thinking about putting that out as well. So that was a lot of information and a lot of me rambling. So for those of you who have stayed, I super appreciate it. This is, what is today? Today is the 15th. And then, like I said, we have Civil War days back in my hometown for the high school this week. So please get your orders in. We are going to work on restocking a few things. We're out of Bloomer Roses right now. We just have to bottle it and get it back in the shop. So there's a few things we're out of, but if you're looking for something, get it in now because this part of this week we're going to be gone. The last day for shipping would be... Well, what is today? Today is the 15th. So, you know, probably Tuesday is the last day for this week for shipping. And then next week, the last day for shipping is the 22nd, which is a Monday too, because we're leaving for Vincennes. And then after that, we get back and then we're packing for the Wild Wild West. So, yeah, get your guys' orders in. If you need something, get it in. If you have questions, let me know. There probably will, our apprentice is not going to be back. She's in Florida at the moment. She's not going to be back, so while we're in the Wild Wild West. So shipping will go out after we get back, and that's already into June. So just stick with us and be patient. Yeah, that's it. So thanks, guys, for joining us. I'm going to put this on YouTube, too, probably, so those of you who watch it on YouTube can watch it. It's not very exciting, but it is, like, how my life runs these days with what's going on. So I just wanted to keep all of you updated, and thanks again for tuning in, and much love, and hopefully we will see you at an event. So Vincennes is what we're working towards, and yeah, so thanks guys, talk to you later, bye.